He wrote a book called The Hacker's Mind. He's teaches computer science out of Harvard.
No.
And so he was talking about hacking and what to expect with artificial intelligence and what happens when artificial intelligence starts hacking us. It's an interesting book. But he was talking about how, like, Goldman Sachs, for example, I guess what controls the price of aluminum is the amount of time it takes to get from the supplier to the buyer or to the consumer. So Goldman Sachs decided, well, let's buy the 27 warehouses in Detroit that hold all the aluminum. Okay, cool.
Right.
Now, let's just move the aluminum from one warehouse to another with our trucks all day, because that's technically moving it, but
So
it's
it
not.
keeps jacking the price up.
Keeps jacking the price up. Now, that's a hack, and they make a lot of money. That's one example of what Goldman Sachs does. Yeah.
That's wild.
And so you go like this, you go, that's
Aluminum
kinda weird.
price fixing conspiracy was confirmed. Effort by Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, and Glencore.
This is dishonest to me. I think you guys are
and their
assholes.
warehouse companies to inflate the price of aluminum by creating artificial supply shortages at their warehouses between 2010 and 2013.
There you go.
On July 20th, 2013, New York Times published an article outlining the scheme, which subsequently brought about the attention of the United States Justice Department. The New York Times went on to estimate that the actions that cost the American consumers almost $5 billion.
So fuck Goldman Sachs and
first
JP
of all,
Morgan for that.
New York Times is going after them, and this is on Google, and Wikipedia is going after them.
No, it's not just them.
The Earth is flat.
They're just reporting.
I don't know.
No,
I don't
Eddie,
know.
Black
Eddie, they're
helicopters.
just reporting it because a lot of people saw this, and this is a fact. These guys are dirty. When you do that, like, that's how you make your money, and you cost consumers that much money. That,
So
to
what
me, is
what was
immoral.
the ruling on this? Was there a ruling on
Well,
this, or is
Have
that
to pay it
legal?
back?
Is that legal?
This guy
It
Schneider
cost
wrote
the
about it.
actions of the accused cost the American consumers almost $5 billion. But is it legal?
They get away with it. It's
might
like
be
a
a-
hack. It's a
right.
gray
big.
area.
It's a gray area.
It's also unethical.
Agreed to
It's also
settlement.
bullshit to me.
Oh, they agreed to a settlement.
Oh, what a surprise.
Okay. Agreed to a so there must have been something to it, maybe, or maybe the settlement was
100%
like
there was something to
yeah.
it. But you don't want to fuck with those guys because they have their lawyers. They'll drag it out.
I guess that's similar to what we're talking about in some ways, but it's just like Weasley shit that
It's
people do for
Weasley
money.
shit. There are a lot of people that make money in my opinion, very unethical ways. And, if you can live with yourself that way, okay, good for you.
That's fucked up.
But you suck.
Interesting.
Eddie, I wanted to ask Eddie this completely
Wait,
different.
one more thing.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Why are you pointing at me?
The other thing I
nervous.
found out was that, that Uber has never turned a profit?
What?
Yeah.
That's
Isn't that
crazy.
fascinating? So why
They're
do
worth $1 trillion.
Right. So this is another thing in the book. So the reason Uber is so big is because venture capitalists keep putting money into Uber, right? So it keeps growing. So the stock keeps rising, right? Now, why are they doing that? The reason they don't make money is because of drivers, and they have, there's all kinds of benefits and insurance. They're waiting. Investors are waiting for cars to become autonomous where they don't need a driver. So Uber's going to have like computer-driven cars. That might take 10 years, but then you get all your money back.
Who's gonna fucking trust that?
They posted a net loss of $9 billion.
How about that?
Oh my God.
This is going on all the time.
Look at this. In 2021, Uber posted a lower net loss of $496 million. Hey guys, good news. We only lost $496 million this year.
Christ.
Primarily thanks to the business divestitures of various assets throughout its history. On an annual basis, Uber has never made a profit.
How about that?
Wow.
That's so weird.
I would
that weird?
imagine it's one of the most successful
too.
companies.
Baller.
No.
Everybody's Ubering.
And this is the problem with our business system and our marketplace, is because in a lot of ways it's fixed.
Oh, they had one profitable year in 2018.
Yeah.
Okay. But look at that. Go back to that. Over the next 3 years, it's lost $15.6 billion.
Would you ever have thought of that? No.
No.
Oh, but it cut its losses to $400 million in 2021.
Good for them.
So the reason that
So
the
they made a
company
little
keeps
money.
growing is venture capitalists keep putting money into it. And if you keep putting money into it, you can expand its value.
And they're doing that because they believe in autonomous cars?
Yes.
Like one
Now
day
here's
that's
here's
gonna-
here's another thing. So why in New York City there are buildings, high-end buildings that they build, right? Like where the apartments go for $5 million, $10 million, $20 million, $50 million, right? They're 80% empty. Do you know why they're 80% empty? And why there's so much real estate in this country with high-end that's totally empty?
Tell us.
Because people from China, Russia, South America who are doing nefarious stuff, they'll buy an apartment They'll buy a flat in London for $140 million. You go, what? $140 million? Who would ever live there? They don't live there. They don't rent it either, because then they can't call it as an asset.
Investment.
Now what you do is this: you take that $140 million flat and you borrow against it. You borrow against it. So now you take that money and you put it in the stock market, and that's how you wash your money, baby.
Whoa.
Yes. So now in the government,
That's how you
they're
wash your money.
yes, but it fucks everybody
Ryan's in the
else
dark
up in the
arts.
high.
You are in the dark arts.
That's from this book,
Jesus.
from a hacker's mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. What a dirty business.
Bryan Callen.
But isn't that just like always what's going to happen if you have little rules and little abilities to
yeah.
manipulate
That's
things?
the thing. That's
you know?
the thing.
It's
That's
always
why
gonna
all the
happen.
congressmen are not calling for them to stop these trades.
Correct.
Right.
They don't want.
But my thing is, that
Did you look at it across the board? It's not like all the Democrats. It's fucking everybody.
Everyone.
It
Left,
is
right, they're all
a
in
red and blue flag.
Yes.
It's like
They're all
stripe,
balling.
stripe,
They're
stripe.
all
They're
balling.
making so much money.
Yes.
It's such a crazy, dirty business. The
is.
fact that they can gamble on things in the stock market where they know that a law is going to be passed. They're
Insane.
literally working on it, and then they buy a bunch of stock
It's-
beforehand.
It's outrageous.
It's crazy.
How is that allowed
criminal.
to happen?
I don't understand how it's legal. And fucking, what's her name? Martha Stewart went to jail for insider stock trading.
Yeah.
She went to jail
Pelosi
for
just
having some
chilling.
information
By the
about
way,
a stock.
what you just described is illegal, but you can get away with it if there
Know how
are
to do
ways
it.
to get away
Yeah,
with it.
but
That's still
in
insider
Congress,
trading.
it's not illegal. They're allowed to do that. They're allowed to bet on the stock market, even if they know that bills are going to be passed. For whatever reason, they're not penalized
It's
for
a
it.
loophole. But is it their fault if it's a loophole?
Well, it's a loophole they created.
Type move.
It's a great move.
Right? Type move.
I mean, why else would you want to be in Congress?
I
Why
want
else
in.
would you want to be there?
Oh, I want in.
The
Why
system-
else would you want to be there and get all that abuse? But you could walk away with hundreds of
That's
millions
what-
of dollars if you're making $100,000 a year.
that's
which
what
is crazy.
That's what this guy's saying. He goes, the system is rigged, and the rich and powerful have figured out how to hack the marketplace. It's not capitalism. It's how to hack the marketplace
Right.
and fuck people over.
rich get
A lot
richer.
of people are that rich. A lot of times you go, like, I'm all for the marketplace. I'm a capitalist, but I was naive, because a lot of times the people that make the most money are the people that just know how to rig
It's
the system.
fascinating.